the experiments in simulated environment. So aim of and make laboratory experiments and more accessible and effective. So this initiative is specifically designed to support the academician, researcher, and the student across the India. So we are truly privileged to have us an extremely resource person from IIT Delhi for the virtual lab team. So I have with Mr. Chandan Kumar and the Mr. Shani Kumar. And Mr. Chandan Kumar, outreach in the he is in outreach in the charge of IIT Delhi. With over 4 years of experience, he has conducted the workshop in more than 350 institutes and has been instrument in promoting the virtual lab national worldwide. And Mr. Sani Kumar, Senior Executive Trainer, IIT Delhi, with expertise in electrical engineering. He has the trained faculty and student in over 150 institute and actively contribute to developing the interactive learning modules. So we are honored to have them with us today to guide us on this transforming initiative. So I welcome you, the Chandan sir. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
So first of all, good morning to all the participants who have joined today. And first, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of IIT Delhi. So welcome to the one-day workshop on virtual lab, which is going to be organized by Noida International Institute of Engineering and Technology in collaboration with IIT Delhi. So in today's sessions, as you all know that we are gathered over here to learn about the virtual lab platform. Okay, so just in today's session, we are going to explain each and everything related to the virtual lab, right? Like how virtual lab came into an existence and how you can make the use of this particular platform, and how being a user you all can go through this portal and you can make the use of it, right? Then after what we'll do, just we'll go for the next part, just that is the demonstration part. And in demonstrations part, we'll try to demonstrate various experiments from the various domain. Like then, so this is how we'll proceed. So firstly, without wasting our time, we'll start from the very first part, that is the presentation part. So first let me share my screen, and then after we'll start with the presentation part. Just wait for a moment. So I hope everyone can see my screen right now. So here now I start with the very first tab, that is the virtual lab. Okay. So virtual lab is an initiative of Ministry of Education which comes under an umbrella project of NIET, that is National Mission on Education through Information and Communications Technology. So when you heard the terms virtual, a questions may arise in your mind is that what is virtual? And that's the obvious questions, right? So virtual lab basically made of two terms. The first thing that is virtual and second one is lab. So virtual means something which is not real, something imaginary, or something like that which you cannot touch it or feel it. And what about the labs? So labs are the places where you can perform the experiment under the supervision. So when we combine these two terms, that is virtual and lab, we found virtual lab. So virtual lab are those kinds of lab which you cannot touch it, or make a team of 5 to 10 people and they have been sent to various institutes or across the India. So once they visited in all across the India in various engineering, various diploma, various university. So once they have visited these all university and institutions, so what they observe one thing, that the student, they are very good in theoretical knowledge. Okay, but when they ask anything with them just to explain or just to explain the logic behind this, so somewhere they are failed to do it, or directly we can say that somewhere they are lacking behind their practical skills. And there are so many institutions who do not have a good facility of labs. At the name of labs, they have some building over there, there are some equipment which were also not working properly. So these are the two main reasons. So at that time ministry think that what we can do, or we will do something like that, so that the practical skills of the student can be get enhanced. So on that time, the idea of virtual lab was came into an existence in 2009. Yes, in 2009, ministry think that our ministry planned that we will design something like virtual lab. Next, we have collaborated with different industries and different research institutions. So being a user, you can access to these platforms, that is virtual lab, all across the India, all across the geographical location. So wherever you are, just you can go through it and you can access it, right? And lastly, just we talk about the quality educations and equal opportunity. So these platforms, that is virtual labs, give you the quality educations. Why I am saying that the quality educations? Because once we'll come to our portal and we'll see the content, like whatever the experiment or whatever the labs we have, so that has been designed by the esteemed professors of the IIT. Like we have a five like we have a 6 IIT college in collaboration and 5 non-IIT colleges. We have IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, IIT Roorkee, IIT Guwahati, IIT Kharagpur. Okay, so whatever the content you are going to get, no doubt you are going to get the quality. Next, what about the equal opportunity? So this particular platform is designed and developed by an IITians, and it is also going to use by share by an IIT student for performing the experiment. So now you all have equal opportunity, that you can also be the, you have also the equal opportunity that you can also make the use of our platform and you can perform the experiment virtually also, right? Now here we'll talk about the salient features, that what are the various salient features of the virtual lab. Anytime, anywhere lab. Yes, you heard me right. You can have access to these portal or these platform at any time and from anywhere. And this is totally free to use. For making the use of our portal, just you do not have need to pay any single penny. So you do not have need to take any subscriptions or anything. For making the use of these portal, you have required only two basic things. What are those two things? The very first, that you must have an internet connection, and secondly, you must have your laptop or mobile phone. So whenever you have these two things, you can access to our portal. Okay, and there are some labs and experiment that is quite helpful or feasible with the help of mobile phone or your tablet. So with the help of your mobile phone and tablet, you can also perform the experiment, right? Next, develop in self-learning mode. So once we go for it, the terms that is self-learning. So it means learning by your own self. So once you goes in your real laboratory for making the use of, so like for performing any experiment, then in your real laboratory, or we can say that the physical labs, there are some lab assistants, some lab technicians who guide you or who help you during your performance of the experimentation. But over on VLab portal or VLab platform, there will be no any lab assistants, there will be no any lab technicians. Just you can learn and perform the things by your own. If you'll commit any mistake, if you'll do something wrong, so what will be happen at that time? A pop-up message will get generated, and that will guide you. Okay, here you are doing something wrong. So just read the procedure again and follow the step so that you can perform the experiment virtually, right? Next, innovative experimentation part. So over on our platform, that is virtual lab, you are going to get so many innovative experimentation. And after performing those all experiment, being a user, even you have a chance that how you can do something new or how you can do something extraordinary from your side, right? Until now, more than 100 virtual labs have been already designed. Yes, initially once this project was started in 2009, so at that time we have only 10 labs just for the testing purpose. But after getting a quite good response from the users, quite good response from the audience, that they are making the use of it, they are interested, then ministry says that will not stop over there, will develop something more, will design something new. So right now more than 100 virtual labs have been already developed, and each lab contain approximately 5 to 10 experiment. So I can say that ki approximately you are going to get 2000 plus experiment over on our portal, which you can perform virtually. Okay, so these are the some salient features of the virtual lab. Now here we'll talk about the motivation part. So few of the faculty member or few of the student will say that, sir, we have our own real laboratory. Then why do we need to make the use of your virtual lab? And that's a valid questions. So here these are some points These are some factor which motivates you. Just why do you need to make the use of our platform? Firstly, we'll talk about the physical distance. So sometimes what happen, a particular gap that has been arise between the user and the labs. Okay. Sometimes what happen, any students, they cannot come to the college due to some any reason. So at that time, a particular gap that has been arise, but that particular gap, or we can say that the distance is going to overbridge by, or we can say that the reduced by the virtual lab platform. As earlier I told you, anywhere, any lab, yes, wherever you are, just you can go through it and you can perform the experiment. Next, sharing of costly equipment. So being a user, you all know that there are some equipment which is very costly, like they might be in lakh or crores. So due to the lack of equipment, what a faculty member do, they just make a group of 5 to 10 students and then they assign a particular setup to them. So amongst 5 to 10 students, only 1 or 2 students who perform all the experiment, who find out the readings, and what's the remaining student do? They just copy the reading and they just write the answer on the board. So due to their interest, just why do we need to go to our real laboratory where we do not have access to equipment, where we can access the equipment, where we can perform the experiment? But over on our VLab portal, every single user will get a single equipment. You can take your time and you can perform the experiment. Next, we have a proliferation of quality of lab. So when I say proliferation, so I mean to say that if there is a regular increase in the quality of our labs, because we have our own developer team, so who's doing the daily basis testing of each and every lab, each and every experiment. So if they found any errors or any bug, then they make it error free at a time, so that being a user you can access our platform very smoothly without facing any issues and without facing any problem, right? So these are the some points which motivates you to make the use of our portal. And this is the basic idea. So here you all can see that this is our portal, that is virtual lab. Okay. And just we have developed it, or you can say that we have created it, and then after we have hosted it on the cloud, and you all are remote user. So once you'll get connected with the internet, so at a time n number of user can have access to our portal. So this is the basic idea. Now here we'll discuss objectives of virtual lab project. So while professors and developer, we are designing these platform, so what are the various objectives they have been keep in their mind? So firstly, to provide remote access. Yes, so whatever the labs or whatever the experiment we have, you can access those experiment remotely. These were the very first objectives. And now these particular platform will be useful for which kinds of students. So I'll say that UZ level, easy level, and still we are designing and developing so many experiment that will be quite helpful for the research scholars in the future also. Okay. Now the third point which we have, that is to enable the student to learn at their own pace and arouse their curiosity. So this is the very interesting and very important point, to learn at your own pace. Just tell me one thing, once you goes in your real laboratory, over there you have given some time foundation. Like what is the duration of your lab lecture? That is, I think, maximum of 2 hours. And I can see that at that particular time window, every student would not able to understand each and every concept very clearly, because there is a reason behind this. You all know that we have a 2 category of a student. So the very first category, that is the fast learner, so who can quickly learn and grab the things in a short amount of time. And next category we have, that is the slow learner. Even they can learn, they can perform the things, but they have required some extra amount of time, so that is not given to them in their real laboratory due to the time foundations. Okay. But over on virtual lab platform, just you can take your time and you can perform the experiment. Even a single experiment you can perform it multiple times, until and unless you are going to get to know each and everything related to the experiment. What is the aim of this experiment? What are the formula we have to use for the calculation part? What are the various apparatus we have need to use? What are the various steps you have need to follow? So just you have given each and everything, right? And lastly, to provide a complete learning management system. So these platform, that is virtual labs, give you the complete learning management system. Why I am saying that the complete learning management system? Because once we'll come to our portal and we'll go for the performing the experiment, so you'll see that in some experiment you have given the web resources, in some experiment you have given the videos lecture, in some experiment you have given the animations, in some experiment you are going to get the simulation. So almost you are going to get each and everything related to that particular experiment. So that's why we say that these platform give you the complete learning management system, right? Now here we'll discuss about the difference between physical lab and virtual lab. Again, we have selected some factor, and on the basis of those factors just will make the comparison, right? So firstly we'll talk about the cost. So suppose that if any institute wants to design or develop a laboratory in their own campus, so for this at least they have required some monetary fund, that may be in lakh or that may be in crore, that is up to the college, like what kinds of labs they are planning for design or establishing. Only basic requirement, your system and internet connection, that's it. Next we'll talk about the availability. So can you access your physical labs at 12 at the night? So being a student, you will say that no, so because you can access your physical labs only at your college time, that is 9 to 5. But virtual lab designed for 24 into 7. Yes, you can perform the experiment early in the morning, you can perform the experiment late in the night. So that is totally up to you. If whenever you are free and whenever you want to make the use of it, just you can go for it, right? And next, once we talk about the experimentation part, then I can see that your physical labs give you the limited options for the innovations, but virtual lab provide wider and safer options for the innovations. Just mark the point or mark the word, that is wider and safer options, because in your real laboratory everything is not up to you. Like whatever the things you want to do, whatever the things you try to do, there are some certain rules and regulations, and we can say that there are some terms and conditions, there are some do's and don'ts, what you can and what you can't. Okay, but over on virtual lab platform there is no any limitations of the experiment, and there is no any chance of like damaging or harming yourself. Whatever the things you want to do, whatever the things you try to do, just you can go for it and you can do, right? But lastly, once we talk about the user experience, then our user experience is that our physical lab is the best and virtual lab is the second best. Yes, this is the fact. And just we'll try to this point by taking an example. Just suppose a scenario, if there is some student who is from chemical science, right? And just he has need to mix the two chemicals, or just he has need to perform some chemical reaction in their real laboratory. So once we'll mix the two chemicals, sometimes what happens, there is some emission of the gases while the reaction is going on. So just we are going to perform an experiment in which just we are going to mix the two chemicals and there are particular gas that is emitting. And just you have need to smell the fragrance of that particular gas. So is it possible virtually your mobile, laptop or PC will emit any kind of gas and you would be able to smell the fragrance of that particular gas? Then your answer will be no. But once we'll do same thing in our real laboratory, we can mix the chemical reaction will happen, there will be emission of the gases and you can smell the fragrance of that particular gas. But virtually it is not possible. So what I mean to say that the real time hands-on experience we gain in our real laboratory, like in once the real time scenario, you play with the equipment, you make a connection by your own self, once you perform the experiment. So whatever the experience you are going to get, nothing can beat that. Even we are from the team of virtual lab, but we never says that our aim is to replace the physical lab, or in future we are going to do so. No, virtual lab will act as a complementary add-on to your real laboratory. Like before going to your physical labs, just go to the virtual lab platform and perform the same experiment virtually. Now due to this, what will be happen? So once you perform the experiment virtually, you are going to get to know each and everything related to that particular experiment. Like what is the aim of this experiment, what are the various steps you have need to follow performing the experiments, what are the various apparatus just you have need to use, what are the formula you have to use for the calculation part. So once these all things will be clear in your mind previously, and then after you will enter in your real laboratory, then you can perform that experiment very well. Even you have a lot of query in your mind which you might be asked from your professors and faculty member, these are what will be happen if I'll do something like that. Okay, so this is how you can take the benefit of virtual lab platform. So that's why we called it the second base, not the base, right? Now we'll discuss the types of lab we have. So currently you all can see that we have a three types of lab. So firstly, modeling and simulation based lab. So modeling and simulation based lab are those kinds of lab in which you have given the complete setup. Like while we go for the any chemical reaction, so over there we have just need a table, we have a need a conical flask, we have need a pipette, burette, and we some chemicals. So almost we have requirements some setup. So such kinds of lab you can use for the modeling and simulation based lab. So we need to find out the exact numerical value. Okay, like we can go for the like KCL or KVL, that is Kirchhoff's current law or Kirchhoff's voltage law, in which just you have need to find out the exact amount of current and voltage. So such kinds of experiments comes under the category of measurement based lab. Last but not least, we have a remote trigger lab. So remote trigger lab was such kinds of lab which you can access remotely. Just imagine a scenario. Currently, you all are there in your own campus. Okay, but there are some setup or there are some equipment that is only available in IIT Delhi all across the India. And just being a user, you want to make the use of that particular remote trigger lab. Then how you can? So, but by making the use of this remote trigger lab, you can access the equipment remotely by sitting at your own campus. Even you can enter the real-time data and real-time value over on that particular setup. And you can see that particular setup with the help of webcam. But something with advantage comes with a great disadvantage. So what was the main disadvantage of this remote trigger lab? This was not scalable. So when I say scalable, so I mean to say that at a time only a single user can make the use of it. Okay, at a time only a single user can make the use of it, he can perform the experiment. But at the same time any other user wants to perform or want to access this remote trigger lab, then he can't, he must have to wait until the first person is get completed his experiment, then after you can. Okay, so but during the COVID time, once we got the so many slot, you all know that the scenario was too worst, our college were suspended, everything was off, but our lecture were running through the various platform, like with the help of Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx. So with the help of these technology, our classes were running. But for the practical part, our theory classes were running, but for the practical part, we do not have anything. So on that time, we got a so many user. Maximum amount of user comes to our platform, and they were making the use of this platform, and they want to access this remote TIGA lab. But at a time, we can provide access to only one user. So ministries tell us ki please design or develop something like that ki so that n number of user can use simultaneously. So at that time, what we have done, just we have converted this remote trigger lab into these two category of lab, that is modeling and measurement based. Okay, so that n number of user can use simultaneously. So due to some circumstances, right now the remote trigger lab has been down, and you are going to get only these two category of lab, that is modeling and measurement based. Okay. Now here we'll talk about the intended user, that who can make the use of our portal. So I say that everyone, either it is college student, high school student, different engineering students, or researcher. So who are willing to learn and who wants to do something extraordinary, just they can come to our portal and they can make the use of it, right? So anyone can make the use of this platform. Here we'll talk about the participating institutes. As earlier I was discussing about the quality education, then I was mentioning the some IIT which we have. So you all can see that this is the list of 11 participating institutes we have. Means these are the name of those institutes who have helped us in designing and developing this virtual lab platform. We have IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee, and IIT Guwahati. And apart from this, we have also 5 non-IIT colleges, that is Triple IIT Hyderabad, Amrita University, Dayal University, NITK Surathkal, and College of Engineering Pune. So this is the 11 participating institutes who have helped us in designing and developing virtual lab platform. And amongst them, our IIT Delhi is the main coordinating institutes. Means all the institutes is get coordinated by the IIT Delhi. We send fund to them for the developing part and for the outreach part. So everything is managed by the IIT Delhi. Now here we'll discuss about the broad areas in which areas the virtual lab have been developed. So I'll say that almost all the area of science and engineering. You all can see that we have electronics and communications engineering, computer science engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical, civil, chemical, and at the end we have also added some applied sciences like chemical sciences, physical sciences, and biotechnology. So I can say that almost all the area of science and engineering has been covered through the virtual lab platform. And still we are developing on so many domain. We are working on so many domain. So in future you are going to get so many broad areas also. Now the thing is that how you will reach over on our portal, our platform. So I can say that this is the main URL of our website. That is www.vlab.co.in. Okay. So I'm requesting each and every user, please take a snap of this slide or please make a note somewhere in a notebook. Just note down the URL. This is the main URL, that is vlab.co.in. Once you go to any wrong portal, then you are not going to get all the content, right? So just you have need to refer to this main URL, that is vlab.co.in. Okay. Now quickly we are going to recall all the things which we have seen in the previous slide. So in center you all can see that this is our platform virtual lab, and it is a combination of these 5 things. Firstly, on demand lab. Yes, whenever you will make the demand, these lab are there for you. Integrated learning and content at one place. Yes, you are going to get each and everything in a single platform, right? Next, self-evaluations part. So under the self-evaluations part, you have given some pre-test, some post-test, and some lab quizzes, which you would be able to answer after performing the simulation part. Like if I have performed some experiment, I have completed the simulator. So now you can come to the self-evaluations part and you can answer those questions like MCQ questions, so that you can evaluate yourself, how much things you have learned with the help of this platform. So that's why you have given the self-evaluations part, right? Next, we have the animations and video tutorial inside. Yes, in some experiment, we have added animations. In some experiment, we have also added the video tutorial, because you all know that action have a louder impact than word. Yes, once we see anything in the form of animations, then a student can quickly learn those things. So that's why we have added more and more animations and video. And lastly, freedom to make mistake. Yes, virtually you can commit any kinds of mistake. You are not going to damage yourself, either you are not going to break the equipment. But in your physical laboratory, this is not given to you, because there are some certain constant. The faculty member might be concerned for your safety, that is their very first priority, and they also might be concerned for the safety of the equipment. Once you do any mistake in your real laboratory, just you are going to damage the equipment, you are going to harm yourself. But once you'll do the same thing virtually, nothing will be happen. You are not going to break the equipment, you are not going to harm yourself. What will be happen? A single pop-up message will get generated and that will guide you. Other things will be shown to you in the form of animations. Like if you'll do like this, then what will be happen? Suppose that in real time scenario, you want to show circuit a battery. If the battery will be of high voltage, it may be damaged to you also. But once you'll do the same thing virtually, you're not going to damage yourself. The things will be shown in the form of animations. Like if you'll supply the maximum voltage of like 200 or 100, then the battery will be going to get short circuited. Okay, so this is overall about the value add in a nutshell. So in next upcoming slide, just we are going to see some impact of these project, like what is the national impact of these project all across the India. So this is the national impact. You all can see that like how many Noida centers we have pan India. Yes, you can see more than 1800 Noida centers we have pan India, and on those Noida centers we have conducted more than 21,000 experiment. And whatever the usage which we have got, that is a very big number. So can you imagine that how many people are making the use of it on the daily basis? Okay, so this is the national impact of these projects. So these are the some glimpses of our workshop, and these are the glimpses while virtual lab was inaugurated by the Professor Ranjan Bose, who is the main PI, that is the project in charge of virtual lab, and right now he is the director of IIT Delhi. Okay, so this is the Professor Ranjan Bose, who is the main PI of these project. Now here we'll talk about the AICT model curriculum. Yes, the virtual lab has been added in the curriculum of AICT. So this is going to very helpful for those institutes who have accreditation with AICT. So just they can make the use of it and they can take the benefit of it. And lastly, this slide is for the student effectiveness. So I don't think it's just I have need to explain this slide. Being a student or being a user, you can understand this what is the means of this slide. So what I'll suggest you after the end of this session, please go through the platform and please perform at least one or two experiment by your own, so that you can got the idea that what are the various steps and procedure you have need to follow for performing the experiment over on virtual lab platform. Okay. And lastly, this is our support credential. If any students or any faculty member want to share anything with us or would like to ask us from anything, so what you can do, simply you can send an email to us on our official email ID, that is support@vlab.co.in. Either you can also call us on the given mobile number during our office time, that is Monday to Friday 9 to 5. Okay, so this is the support credential. And lastly, we have reached to the end part of this presentation part. So I hope you all have got the idea what is virtual lab, how it came into an existence, and what are the various advantages of this particular platform you can take. Now the presentation part, the very first part has been completed. What we'll do, simply we'll go for the demonstration part, and just I'll try to demonstrate some experiment. Okay, like today we have a student from BCA and MCA. So maximum just I'll try to target the CSC domain, computer science and engineering domain, so that over there you can learn the experiment from C and C++, and you can also learn the experiment from the Python. So whatever the experiment or labs we have, that can be helpful for you, that has been given in the CS part. Okay, so before going to the computer science and engineering part, what I'll do, just I'll demonstrate some basic experiment. Okay, like firstly we'll start from the very basic one. We'll go for the virtual lab platform. Just enter the URL. Yes, once you will type the URL and press enter, you will be redirected to the main home page of virtual lab. Okay, so this is the main home page. So over there you can see that virtual lab logo, initiative of Ministry of Education under the NIET, that is National Mission on Education through Information and Communications Technology. Okay, and in the right corner you can also see that a search bar. So what is the use of this search bar? Suppose that if you want to type the name of any lab that is available on our portal or not, so simply you can type here and you will be redirected to the those lab. Suppose that I am typing the Python. So here you can see that Python programming lab, Python programming advanced lab. So this is how once you click on those lab, you will be redirected to the that domain. Okay, so this is the use of this search bar also. Next, we have a home, about us, outreach portal, participating institutes, and so on you have given. Okay, so once you'll go for the home part and scroll down, you can see the objectives of virtual lab project, broad areas. So these are the various areas which we have I have discussed earlier. So you have given each and everything's over there, right? Next, under the once you'll go for the about us part, so just you can see the overview, what is the overview, what is the objectives, and everything. And third one is you have given the outreach portal. So now what is the main use of this outreach portal? As earlier I discussed, we have more than 1800 nodal centers. So here you can see that right now the live data is 1834. Okay, 1834 nodal centers we have, and how many users we have trained till now, that is 15 lakh plus, and the workshop that is 21,000, and the usage has been also increases. Okay, and this is the nodal centers we have, like how many nodal center at which places or in which states we have. So this is the cluster view. Once we'll go for the scatter view, so here you can see the name of those nodal center. So you can see the blue dots. So once you move your cursor on those blue dot, you can see the name of that nodal centers. Okay, and once again you will scroll down, you can see the nodal center, overall usage, year wise usage, and new nodal centers we have, right? So if like any institute wants to become the nodal center of the virtual lab, then first what they have need to do, yes, they have need to fill the EOI form, that is expression of interest form. And just you have need to send the expression of interest form after filling all the detail with AICT letter or UGC letter. Then after we'll make the nodal center. Like firstly we can see that how many nodal centers we have in the Noida. Like I'll go for the Uttar Pradesh, I'll select the year 2025, and I'll go for the state, that is Uttar Pradesh. Just I'll click on the search button. So you can see that these are the various nodal centers we have in UP, that is Uttar Pradesh. Okay, 92 nodal centers we have in UP. Suppose that if you want to search the name of your institutes over there, so you are not going to get it, because your institutes, that is Noida Engineering Institute, is not the nodal center of virtual lab under IIT Delhi in 2025. So if you want to become the nodal center, so just you have need to send the EY form. So once you'll become the nodal center, then you can make the usage of VLab platform. You can send the usage data, attendance sheet, and each and everything. If any institutes under the any states comes under the category of top 3 rank, like first, second, and third, then they would be awarded by a memento from IIT Delhi, and they are also going to get an appreciations letter. Like your institutes got the first rank in the usage of virtual lab, so you can see the usage, how many users they have, and how many workshop they have conducted. Even we have so many institutes in Noida, like you can see that the Dronachar group of institutions, and another we have, so many institutes we have from the Noida also. Okay, so this is how any institutes can become the nodal center. Now what we'll do, just we'll go for the let me show one more tab, that is the NME tab. So once you'll click on the NME part, that is National Mission on Education through Information and Communications Technology. So you can see whatever the initiative that has been taken by MOE, that is Ministry of Education, Government of India. So you can get each and everything here. Like you have given the, for the undergraduate students, you have given the Swayam Prabha, NDLI, that is National Digital Library, spoken tutorial of IIT Bombay, E-Yantra, Virtual Lab, Sod Sudhi, Shamarth, Badal. So for the postgraduate part, again there are something, that is EPG part, Sala, Vidwan. So you have given the link of each and every initiative that has been taken by the ministry. So directly you can go for the NME part, and you can make the usage of whatever the initiative that has been taken by the ministry. Okay, even the maximum people are making the use of it. Here you can see that how many viewers of NDLI, that is National Digital Library, Swayam Prabha, Swayam spoken tutorial, and ICT initiative. So there are so many users, they are making the use of it, right? Now what we'll do, simply we'll go for the demonstration part, and I'll demonstrate some experiment. So for demonstration part, just you have need to go for the home page and just scroll down. So once you will scroll down here, you can see the broad areas of virtual lab. Then from over there, just you have need to select a domain. Like just select any domain in which you want to perform the experiment, right? I'll go for the, suppose that I'll go for the like chemical science. Okay, simply I'll click on it and we'll see a basic experiment so that you can got the idea. So this is a basic one. So once you click on any domain, so here you can see the list of labs and their developing institutes name, right? So firstly, you can see that you have colloid and surface chemistry, inorganic chemistry lab, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, quantum chemistry. So you have given each and every labs over there. So for instance, I'll go for the inorganic chemistry lab that has been developed by the Amrita Viswavidya Pitham. Then directly we'll go for the list of experiment after the selection of lab. Then just you have need to select the experiment under the inorganic chemistry lab, which experiment you want to perform. Okay, like water analysis, determination of physical parameter, chemical parameter, acid base titration, crystal field theory, gravimetric distribution of nickel, barium. So there are so many experiments we have. So I'll start from the very basic one, like we'll go for the acid base titration. Okay, so simply I'll click on it. So once I'll click, you will click the name of any experiment, then you are going to get such kinds of interactive questionnaire, simulator, assignment, and reference and feedback. Okay, so just I'm going to discuss each and everything in a detail. So firstly, we'll start from the aim part. Like we are going to perform experiment on acid-base titration. So what is the main aim of this experiment? First, we'll try to know the aim. So under the aim of experiment, you have given what we are going to do, like to determine the amount of substance in a solution of unknown concentration using the various titrimetric method. Yes, just will perform the titration, and we have taken the two solution. One is known and another is unknown. So with the help of this unknown concentration, we just going to determine the amount of substance, how much amount we have used. Okay, so this is the main aim of this experiment. Once we'll come to the theory part. So under the theory part, you have given everything related to the titration. Okay, like first you can go for it. What is titration? Just you can read it. Okay, what is titration? Then what is in point and equivalent point? Then what are the various indicator? Right? And then expression of concentration of solution. Just how you can find out the normality, what is normality, what is molarity, what is molality, and each and everything is mentioned in the theory part. So just you have need to read the theory in detail so that you can know each and everything related to this titration part. Okay, so once the theory part will be done, what you can do again, you can just will go for the first procedure part. After performing the simulator part, we'll back to the self-relations part. Okay, so under the procedure part, you have given each and every step which you have need to follow in the simulator part. Like the very first thing, just you have need to choose the titrant. Okay, just you have need to take the one titrant, then one titrate. Then after you have need to select the normality of that titrate. Then you have to choose the volume, then indicator, and just you have need to start the titration. Okay, so everything will see in detail in the simulator part. Like firstly, just you have given here, you can see the formula you have given, that is N1V1 is equal to N2V2. So what N1 is, that is normality 1, V1 volume 1. So we have given these two things, N1 and V1. So with the help of N1, V1, we will perform the titration and we are going to find out the V2. So once we'll get the V2, then we can calculate the N2, that is normality 2. So once we'll find the normality, then simply you can come to the mass formula. And with the help of this formula, you can calculate the mass, like equivalent weight into normality into volume by 1000. So you are going to calculate the mass. Okay, so everything we'll see in the simulator part in detail. So like I'll come to the simulator part and just I'll go for the maximize button. So once you'll maximize here, you can see such kinds of setup. I hope everyone have seen such kinds of setup in your laboratory, and everyone have performed the experiment acid based titration in 10th, in 12th. Okay, even sometime in first year you also perform. So after getting these simulator page, what you have need to do, just you have need to make the changes in the variable. Like first you have need to choose the titrant. So for the titrant part, what we'll do, just we'll go for the, I'll choose the HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Okay, that is a strong acid. Then I'll adjust the speed of titrant. Okay, I'll just make it high. For the titrate part, I'll go for the sodium hydroxide because as a titrant, I have chosen HCl, that is a strong acid, so I'll choose a strong base. Now I'll take some normality like 0.2 normalize a normality, and I'll take some volume. So this is N1 normality and this is volume V1. Okay, I have taken 11 ml. But for the indicator part, I'll go for the phenolphthalein. So once I have chosen phenolphthalein, you can see the color changes. Initially, the solution we have, their color is like magenta color or light pink. Okay, so once I'll click on the start button, so the drops will fall down and our chemical reaction will perform, like titration will perform. So once we'll observe a color change, then we'll go for the stop part, right? So I'll click on the start button. Now here you all can see that drops are falling down and our titration is going on. So once we observe the color change, just will stop the titration. Okay, here we go. So did you observe color change? Initially it was pink color, but right now it is colorless. Okay. So whatever the titrant used that has been shown in the result part, like titrant used, that is 2.6 ml. So this is our V2. So with the help of this V2, we can find out the normality. So this is how you can perform. Like again, if you want to do something extra, what you can do, just go for the reset part. But for the titrate, now I'll choose ammonia. I'll take some normality, I'll take some volume. Again, indicator, I'll go for the phenolphthalein. But once I'll click on the start button, so here you all can see that we are getting a message that is invalid indicator, please try again. Yes, if you'll do any mistake, so this is how platform will guide you. Like whatever the indicator you have selected, that is not feasible with this reaction. Now, what is the reason behind this? Just you can go for it. Because titrant we have chosen HCl, that is a strong acid, but titrate we have chosen ammonia, that is a weak base. So when strong acid react with a weak base, so what happened? So this is the answer of these questions. So this is how you can verify and you can go for it, right? Now again I'll minimize it, and in the similar manner just you can go for the assignment tab. In assignment tab you are going to get some questions and you can solve these questions by your own. Okay, again under the reference tab you have given some name of the book which may be refer. Okay, so these are the some name of the book that has been suggested by the professors. And lastly you can go for the feedback part. So under the feedback part, simply you can share your experience with us, like whatever the experience you have gained with the help of this platform, right? Now I have shown you one basic experiment. So the main purpose of showing this experiment is so that you can got the idea that how you have to perform the experiment, right? Now what we'll do, just I'll close these tabs and we'll go for your domain, that is the CS domain, and we'll try to show some experiment from the programming lab. Like we'll see one experiment from the C++ and one C experiment from the Python, and we can also see some advanced level of lab from the data structures also, right? So simply what I'll do, again we'll go for the another domain, like I'll go for the computer science and engineering domain. So under the computer science and engineering domain, you can see that you have given so many labs, like artificial intelligence lab. Then we have a artificial neural network lab, computational linguistic lab, computer graphics lab, computer organization and architectures lab, computer organization, computer programming, so cryptography, data structures, image processing, problem solving. So you have given like Python programming advanced. So you have given so many labs under the computer science and engineering domain. So from over there you can select any lab again. Okay, so first will go for the one experiment from the like problem solving. Like I'll go for the problem solving and I'll show one experiment. Like that I'll go for the list of experiment, and again under the list of experiment we have given 10 experiment, like numerical representation, beauty of number, more on number, factorial listing, and so on. Okay, so simply what I'll do, just I'll go for the we can go for the factorial part, and simply we'll see the experiment related to the factorial. So in this experiment, first we'll see what is the aim of this experiment. Okay, so under the aim of this experiment, you can see that what we are going to do. Just in this experiment, we are going to learn about the factorial, what is factorial, and how you can find out the factorial of any number. Okay, so under the aim part, we have given two problems. So the problem number first is that Problem number first is that you have given a positive integer. Just find the number of digits in the factorial of the number. Okay. So what you have to do is simply just you have given a positive integer and you have need to calculate the factorial. Once we'll find out the factorial, after finding the factorial, just we have need to count that there are how many digit in it. Okay. Suppose that we have taken an example of 5. So just we'll find out the factorial of 5. So what will be the factorial? That is 120. There are right now how many digit in it? There are 3 digit, 1, 2 and 0. So just we are going to solve this problem. Okay, with the help of C or C++. Now directly you can, if you want to go for the theory part, you can read the theory. Okay, you can read the theory related to that particular. Then you can go for the pre-test part and you can answer the some basic questions like do you have some basic knowledge of programming or not. Okay, like the very first questions which we have given, that is the execution of a loop typically start with. So now we all know that execution of loop typically start with the initialization statement. I have selected. Now the break statement is used to exit from, like I'll go for the for loop. Just I'll answer 2 questions and go for the submit the quiz. So here you can see that 2 out of 3 questions are correct and remaining are vacant. So this is how you can solve the questions by your own self so that you can check your basic knowledge. Now directly we'll come to the simulator part. We'll go for the click here to perform the experiment again. Now, so this is the editor part where you can write the code by your own self. If any user who have a good knowledge of coding, like he's an intermediate or advanced level of coder, then he can write the code by their own. Okay. But just think about those students who have just started coding or who is a beginner or who is in the first semester. So for those kinds of students, we have given the hint label part. Okay, right. Firstly, we'll go for the language preference. Which language do you want to use? Like I'll go for the C. And again, this you have need to go for the problem. So I'll go for the problem number 1. So what was problem number 1? We are going to take an integer, we'll calculate their factorial and count the number of digit in it. Okay. So again, once you come to the hint label part, once you go for the hint label 1. So here you will get 25% of the code. So from there, any student can take the help, like how just you had need to start the coding. But from where the main function will be get started, where just you have need to declare the function at the last, how you are going to print your result. So under the hint label 1, you are going to get the 25% of the code, but hint label 2, you will get more code, like how your loop will work, how your logic will work. So in the similar manner, hint label 3 75%, but lastly once you'll go for the hint label 4, so you are going to get the 100% of the code. Okay, so if you get the 100% of the code, simply you can got the idea, take the hint and you can write the code again by your own self. Okay, but here I'll do, simply I'll copy this code and I'll paste in the workspace like editor part. And after writing the code, just will go for the compilation part. So before going to the compilation part, let me explain you like what is the compiler, because you all know that your computer doesn't understand your Hindi or English or Urdu, any language. It understand each and everything in only binary language, or we can say that the machine language, that is 0 and 1. So basically what a compiler do, it's convert your source code into machine code. So this is the very first work. And next also check the error. Sometimes we got the compilation error. Okay. So this is the main work of the compiler. So once we'll click on the compiler, simply you can see that compilation successful. Now our code is successfully compiled. Now we can go for the run part and we can see the output. If there will be any error in your code, so you are not going to get the compilation successful. You will get the compiler error. Right. Now I'll go for the run. So once I'll click on the run, you can see a output table here. Right. We have taken input data, expected output, code output, results and remarks. Okay. So input data, the user will enter. Expected output means whatever the output we are expecting. Code output, what is the output of your code. Okay. So if the expected output and code output will be same, you are going to get the result pass. If there will be any difference between the expected output and code output, you are not going to get the result pass. You will get result failed and some message will be shown to you in the remarks box. Again, just like we can go for the 5. We all know that the factorial of 5 is 120. So there are how many digit? 1, 2 and 0. 3 digit. Okay. So the result we are getting, that is passed. So So this is how you can write the basic program. You can learn about the coding part. You can compile and run it. Okay. So this is the basic program one we have seen from the problem solving lab for the first year. Okay. Now we'll go for the Python programming. Then after that, we'll see one experiment from the data structures. Like under the Python programming lab, again, go for it. Go for the list of experiment. And from over there, again, you can select any experiment which you want to perform, like arithmetic operation, built-in function, loops, data type, string, classes, and so on. Okay, so just you can learn about it. So again, let me show you one experiment. Like we'll go for the arithmetic operation. So this is a very basic experiment. Again, under the aim. So aim part, what we are going to do. In this experiment, a student would able to understand the basic of arithmetic operation. Okay, with the help of this programming language. Again, just I'm going to skip this theory part, pre-test procedure, and so on. Directly will come to the simulator part. So under the simulator part, you have given three options over there. Like first one is the problem. What is the problem you are going to select? Step execute, in which you can see the execution of your code, and in the result part you can see the output. Okay, like under the option part, I'll go for the step execute, with the help of Python programming language. Okay, so again, for adding two numbers, just we need two variable. So what I'll enter, like first 5, and second I'll go for the 10. So once you click on the start button, so under the step execute part, you all can see that you are going to get all the code that has been written for adding the two number. Okay, like here we have taken a, we have in slash a variable that is a, then again we have taken the another variable that is b, but for adding those two value and storing those value, we have taken another third variable that is c. So simply with the help of c variable, we can add those two variable, and at last we can print the c. So you are going to get your result. So this is a very basic program. You can see that even just if you'll go for writing these code in C or C++, at least you have to write to 10 to 15 lines of code. But here in Python, you can see that simply we have taken two variable, and with the help of third variable, we are going to add it, and at last with the help of print function, we are adding. Now just we'll go for the next part, and we'll see that how our code is running. This will go for the next part. Now our first line of code is get executed, because that has been highlighted with the red color. A, just we have taken a variable a, and we have entered the 5. Okay, so that has been our first line of code is get executed. Again, once you'll go for the next part, our second line of code is get executed, like b, we have entered 10. So this is how here you are saying, you would be able to see that how your code is executing line by line, because you know that like Python use the interpreter. In C++ we use the compiler, which execute all the codes at a time. In a single time you find out the error. But in Python, our code is executing line by line. Suppose that if you have written a code of 10 lines, but your 5 line of code is correct, but at the 6th line you have error. So your code will be run till the 5th line. So on this 6th line, it will source the error. Okay, because it used the interpreter. Again, once we'll go for the next part, we'll get the addition, like c is equal to 15, and we have also given a message in the print like the addition is. So lastly, we'll get the output, the addition is 15. So this is how simply you can see that how you can add two number with the help of Python programming language. Okay, again, if you want to reperform this experiment, you can go for the reset it, and you can go for the subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this is how you can learn how you can perform the, or you can add the two number, multiply or subtract or divide in Python. Okay, now again we'll close this experiment, and now we are going to see our final experiment from the data structures. Like simply I'll go for the data structures, and again just you have to need to go for the list of experiment. So under the list of experiment, you have given some sorting algorithm like bubble sort, merge sort, heap sort, quick sort. Then you have also given some graph traversal like DFS and BFS, that is depth first search and breadth first search, tree traversal. Okay, so you can see those all experiment which you have given. Now what we'll do, simply like I'll go for the sorting part. We'll see one experiment, like I'll go for the merge sort. So simply I'll click on the merge sort. Now in this experiment, just we are going to learn each and everything related to this merge sort algorithm. Okay, so under the aim part, what you are going to learn this experiment, just you are going to learn about divide and conquer strategy. Okay, so the student from second year, they can understand ki what is divide and conquer strategy, because we all know that ki merge sort is the algorithm which follow the divide and conquer technique, we can say that. Now what is divide and conquer technique? So first we'll go for the directly divide and conquer technique, and we'll try to understand this, because merge sort is algorithm which follow the divide and conquer technique. Okay, now we'll go for the what is divide and conquer technique. So you have given a video related to divide and conquer technique. So simply you can play this video, and with the help of this video you can understand what is divide and conquer technique. Okay, again you will scroll down. Here you have given a flow chart. So with the help of this diagram you can understand what divide and conquer strategy or how it works. Okay, so initially we have taken a problem, and suppose just we have need to solve this problem. So our divide and conquer strategy says that if first divide your problem into another two sub problem. Okay, or just you have need to divide your problem until each problem get divided singly. So first break down your problem into smaller part and solve each part singly. After solving, just what you have need to compute your problem, just combine your problem and solve your problem. So basically it works on three technique. Like divide, firstly just you have need to divide your problem, then conquer means solve your problem, and at last combine your problem to get the final solutions. Okay, so this is how divide and conquer strategy work. Now simply what we'll do, just go for the merge sort algorithm and we'll see that how it follow the divide and conquer technique. Okay, again directly we'll go for the concept part. So under the concept part, again you have given a video and you have given some theory like how merge sort algorithm works and what are the various technique it follow. Okay, again here we have taken some array, we are dividing that array and again solving, and at last we are combining this array to get our final solutions. Okay, so you have given video and you have also given a flow chart diagram. Now simply what will we just go for the demo part. So under the demo part, you all can see that you have given an array of six number. So how I have determined that this is array? Because there is a two identifications. So firstly, you all can see that its indexing is starting from 0. And the another definition is that it contains the similar types of data. So again, we have taken an array of 6 number, and initially you all can see that it is unsorted. Now we are going to sort this array by making the use of divide and conquer technique. We'll sort this array, and at the end we'll get a sorted array in ascending order. Okay, now just you have need to start the autoplay. So once you'll click on the autoplay, so you can see that how our divide and conquer technique work. Again we have divided. Now left side array will be get divided. So just you have need to divide each problem singly. After division, just will make the comparison. Which one be smaller? We'll put at the 0th place. And again 10th place. So this is how firstly we have divided our problem. Now we are conquering, and at last we are merging. So 5 would come at the 0th place, then 10 would come, then 12. So with the help of animation, you can understand that how your divide and conquer technique works. Again, we'll do the same thing with the right side array. Again, split it, again sort it in ascending order. And at last, we'll combine these two solutions, one left side and one right side, to get our final solution. So at the end, you will say that you will get a sorted array. Just wait for a moment and see it. And all the message is shown to you, like what the things is happening. Just you can see the things. Yes, initially it was the unsorted, but at the final, at the end, we have got a sorted array. You all can see that all the value has been sorted in ascending order. Okay, now this was the demo part with the help of animation. Now just you can go for the practice part, and where you can perform experiment by your own. Each and every step you can perform. Like even if you want to enter the data of your own choice, like this you can select the number of array, how many number of array you are going to enter. Like suppose that I'll select 5. and just I'll enter the array value. Just enter any value 34 separated by the comma. Again enter another value 45. Just go for 12. 3 value हो गए. Now I'll go for the 78, and now we'll take one more value, that is 9. I have taken 5 value. So once I'll click on the setup part, so the value will be get inserted in this array box. Just observe it. Here you observe. So I'm going to get the enter. You can enter the value of your own choice. Now just go for the next part. Again here you are getting a message, select the entire array, or entire array has been selected. Just divide in two parts. Once you go for the next part, the problem will be get divided. Again go for the next part, select the left side array, divide it. So again here there are two array, just you can split it. So this is how with the help of next button you can execute and you can understand the function and working of the divide and conquer technique. Simply again we'll make the comparison 12, 34 and 45 between comparison. So we'll place the 12 at the 0th place, okay, then 34, then 45. So this is how you can perform the practice part by your own. Okay, so I'm not going to complete it. Again you can go for the exercise part. So under the exercise part you have given a splitted array. Click on any number, like put at the 0th place. Again go for the 12, put at the 0th place. Now I know that 2 would be over on the 0th place, but unfortunately I'll click on the 12 and put at the 0th place. Now here you are getting a message that is your last step was incorrect and your work has been replaced with the correct, so that you can continue. So if you'll commit any kinds of mistakes, then a pop-up message will get generated and that will help you or guide you. Okay. So once you click on the OK button, 2 will be replaced by 12. Okay. Just click on the OK button. Now this is how you can continue. Again select 12, put at the 83, just you can put. So this is how you can complete the exercise part by your own. Again if you want to get a deeper or go deeper inside, simply you can go for the analysis part, and under the analysis part just you can learn about the time and space complexity, because time and in space complexity is a very important things and very important topic for a developer or for a software engineer. We can see that because time complexity, like what is the minimum time required to execute your code. Suppose someone has written the code of 50 line, but you have written the code of only 10 lines. So your time complexity is so less. So and same with the space complexity. What is the space complexity? The minimum space required to store your code, that is known as the space complexity. So this is how you can also learn about the time and space complexity, how you are going to find out the time complexity and space complexity of any algorithm. So you have given each and everything related to this experiment. Okay. So this is one experiment I have shown you from the data structures. Now just we are going to wind up these sessions because we have seen so many experiment. So there are so many experiment also under the CSE domain which you can perform by your own self. So at the last, which we have reached to the in part of this presentation part. So if any student or any faculty member have any doubt or any query would you like to ask from me, then you can. Then after we'll go for the wind up the session.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Rajesh,
I
sir.
think,
Yeah, we have
yes,
reached
sir.
to the end part of this session, sir. If any query from the faculty member side or student side, sir, you can ask us.
If any issues, please raise your hand and ask questions. Anyone? There are a lot of students are there. Tanisha, Suraj. If any query, you can ask him. There are Naman Chaudhary, Manish, Lucky, Kunal. Yes, sir. Vivek, you can raise. You can ask. Unmute your mic. Right? Vivek, please unmute your mic.
Sir,
notable.
even they can also write their query in the chat box, sir.
Okay. If any
Yeah.
query, you can ask through the chat. Actually, sir, some students join from the YouTube also. Because there are limitations. So some students are there. If
Okay,
any
sir.
query, please raise your hand or we can bind up these sessions. Student,
If sir right now they don't want to ask, no issue. Simply what they can do, sir, if future they are making the use of our portal and they are facing any problem or any questions in their mind, so simply sir they can send an email to us on our official email ID, that is support@vlab.co.in. Either you can also call us on the given mobile number, sir, which I have shared during the contact to us. Got in the
and thank you,
chat
Shani.
box from Akash Kumar.
Okay, some questions are there.
Yeah, sir, everything was well explained that there are not any things to ask right now. Okay, thank you, Akash. Yeah, he's saying that everything was well explained, so there is no doubt. There is nothing to ask right now.
Yeah, some there are also query. I think
Yes, sir. Gaurav can simply ask. Otherwise, he can also write in the chat box what whatever the things he is comfortable. Like you can directly turn on your mic. You can ask me. Otherwise, you can also write in the chat box. Yeah, Vivek Kumar has raised your hand. Yes, Vivek, please. Any question? Yeah, please ask one by one so that we can avoid the disturbance during the session. No any queries, sir? I think, sir, we can wind up the session, Ajit sir.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Now I
So
welcome
once
Dr.
again,
Sachin
thank
and
you so much, each. Sir, please wait for a moment. Let me wind up from
okay.
my side.
Yeah.
Then after you can. Yeah. So once again, I have shown you presentation on virtual lab. You have seen the presentation and we have demonstrated so many experiment. So I hope you have got the idea okay, what is virtual lab, how it came into an existence, and how you can make the usage of it for enhancing your knowledge related to the computer science and engineering domain. Okay. So at the end of this session, I would like to welcome you once again on behalf of IIT Delhi. And thank you so much for giving your valuable time. And thank you so much for listening to me very carefully. So once again, thank you each and everyone.
So, good morning, everyone. So, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the valedictory session for today's workshop, which is organized by the School of Computer Applications, NIET, Greater Noida, and in collaboration with IIT Delhi under the National Mission on Education through ICT, which is an esteemed initiative of Ministry of Education, Government of India. So at the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished resource person, Mr. Chandan Kumar, Outreach Incharge, Virtual Labs, IIT Delhi, and Mr. Shani Kumar, Senior Executive Trainer, Virtual Labs, IIT Delhi, for sparing their time and sharing their expertise with us. Their insightful session not only familiarized us with the concept and functioning of virtual labs, but also enlightened us on how this initiative can transform the teaching learning process, especially in the institutions where access to high-end laboratories is limited. Workshops like these hold a special importance in today's rapidly evolving academic environment. Virtual labs serve as a bridge, ensuring that the students from all corners of the world gain equal opportunity to learn, experiment, and innovate. I'm delighted to see the active participation of our students and faculty members. Your enthusiasm and curiosity are what make such initiatives meaningful and impactful. On behalf of NIET, I sincerely thank IIT Delhi and the Ministry of Education for this enriching collaboration. A special note of thanks to our respected Dean, Dr. C.S. Yadav, sir, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to organize such a meaningful session. I also extend my appreciation to our organizing team for their dedicated efforts in making this workshop a grand success.
As we conclude today's event, I encourage all participants to take forward learnings from this workshop and integrate them into their academic and professional pursuits. Thank you once again and wishing you all the success in future endeavors. Thank you.